Hey guys, coming at you again with another piece of gear. This is a Monstrum Tactical. It's their second focal plane, 3 to 12 by 42. Let's open this puppy up and get into it. So, I'm doing a couple of budget optic reviews to start doing some of my gear review stuff that I'm doing. And let's do a boxing. So, over here on the left side, we've got the 30mm scope rings. Pretty nice little units. They're all solid aluminum. Not sure exactly what grade aluminum it is. All the information bits and some tools, extra battery, lens cleaner, all that. Let's see what we got here. This is what we're looking for right here. So let's open this puppy up and get into it. So y'all tell me, do y'all like hearing like, oh, the packaging is nice. I love the quality of this saran wrap. It's approximately a millimeter thick. It's very tactile and audible. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Y'all let me know how detailed y'all want these unboxings to do. But in my opinion, all I really care about is the piece of gear itself. So what we have here is a fairly solid, pretty hardy, slightly heavy unit. It's got a parallax adjustment on the left side. Scope covers that come with it. One of them's got an amber color on the end. And it's fairly short. I mean, I'm honestly kind of surprised at the compactness of it. It's fairly short, pretty hardy, pretty robust, 30mm tube, so it should be pretty good for light transfer. 42mm objective lens on the far end. Looking forward to getting this thing out, and let's do a little testing with it. See if I can get this up close enough to the camera to be able to see. Not going to be able to see anything, just a piece of cardboard down there. It is a mil-dot reticle. Let's see if it's got a battery in it. Let's see here. Yep, green and red illumination. That's the number 1. Let's turn it all the way up to 5. So you can see some haloing down on the inside. We'll see what that looks like when we actually go outside with it or put it on the stand and look out the back door with it. Okay, so let's listen to the turrets and see how they sound. Turrets are good for information. You got all your, block that in so you can hopefully see. The lighting may not be the best. Just simple. Sounds pretty good. Looks like it's lockable, so you can go back to 0 once you get them locked where you want them. Get them adjusted and adjust it back to 0, which is a convenient feature. So you can adjust on the fly. I think the average person, though, if they're going to be buying something like this, they're looking for something to put on a budget rifle or a budget AR. So I seriously doubt most people would even get into, doing adjustments on the fly. Most people would 0 it up, put it back on 0, cover the turrets, and then go outside and shoot. So, all right, let's go mount this thing up. Down here with the Monstrum Tactical 3 to 12 scope. We're going to do some shooting with it today. And also I have a Bear Creek Arsenal 6.5 Grendel 16-inch heavy barrel on top of an Anderson Arms lower. So this whole budget build here probably by the time you get the this is a lower parts kit that came off of Delta Team Tactical. So by the time you include all this stuff, this whole rifle, scope and all, probably clocked in at under $600. I need to actually run the figures for it, but this is definitely a budget build, and I'm looking forward to putting some rounds down range with it. So this scope is that we're only going to focus on the scope, and then we'll focus on the rifle itself. But the scope is definitely a budget optic with the mounts and everything. It was a little over $100, like 110 bucks. And I'll roll some footage in right now of some of the clarity looking out the back glass of my house. The camera's not picking the light up real good, but with the reticles being in there, you can still see the reticles pretty good. But I can definitely see, when I'm looking with my naked eye, I can see it really, really good. But the reticles, the camera's not picking that up very well. So let me turn that off and swap it over to red. Let's zoom it on up, see if red comes into play a little bit brighter. So this is red 5 right here. You see a little bit of the red comes in a little bit better during daylight. Excuse me for moving this around so much. So you can definitely see as I'm slightly moving the camera up and down, there's definitely some distortion around the edges of the glass. You see that? It's fairly clear right in the center. But again, for a budget optic on this 6.5 Grendel, I mean, I think this would be plenty good. I mean, as long as it can hold 0 and all that. Is it top tier? By no means, no. But if you're looking to get into an AR and need a budget optic that will help you stretch the legs on one of your firearms, 223 or 6.5 Grendel, 6.8, whatever. Based on what I'm looking at here, I'm not too unhappy with it. I mean, I think that you're getting a pretty good representation of what you can expect. Again, you slightly go off center with it and definitely get into some distortion and start losing the clarity pretty quickly. Let's zoom that back down and do the same test. Let's go all the way down. Still keep a camera picture. And that's probably from top right here where you're losing the image completely all the way down. I bet that's about 2 inches worth of play. You see this distortion as you get closer to the edges, but not nearly to the extent as when it's zoomed in. So not too shabby for just a, again, it's a budget optic. We're not looking for, Night Force kind of quality or, high-end Vortex kind of stuff right here. What we're looking for is, for a budget platform that could go out and be used as a deer rifle or a pig rifle or, even home defense. Is this thing adequate? So far, I mean, I'm pleased with it. I'm about to do some sighting in to see, number one, can I get a good sight picture at 100 yards, holding it real steady, and despite some of that mirage, I guess you would call it, on the side. It's got the, a dial so you can adjust it so you can get your parallax adjusted to what you need. But anyway, all right, we're hot. Let's see, zoom this thing on up to 12. Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's some mirage at 12. Like, you get slightly off center and it goes fuzzy fairly quick. It's not nearly as bad on 3 power. Let's see where we are on the first shot.